host of the Gridiron.
This is kind of like, like the Giants way. I mean, it happens with every team. Right? It happens with every team. But, you got Davis Webb, right? And, if you look real fast, at this picture, just like take a fast look at it real fast. Number 12, you look fast, you turn away. Right? It's like, hey, was that Aaron Rodgers? No, that's Davis Webb. But, the Giants way. Let somebody who you got, under contract or you have control of or whatever, something like that, just let him go. And let him go someplace else. And he does very well. Very, very well. I mean, I am. Now, he wasn't under contract so much as a coach, but Giants had him, right? He had that one very, very good game, where we put our 312 string players in there, 2022. Against the Eagles. The Eagles had to win that game, and the Eagles wound up winning. But Webb completed the pass to Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay's only touchdown is of course, is $500 trillion to get Kenny Galladay in here. And Kenny Galladay wound up with one touchdown reception and wound up coming from Davis Webb. Right? So, but we had him. He was a Giant, right? And he wanted to retire to go coach. And I mean, what we didn't maybe want to keep him. I mean, what was I don't know. Yeah, it's always hindsight. It's always 2020. Why did we let him go? He's so good. Oh, maybe we didn't know. Obviously, but I mean, he's starting off on the bottom rung of the totem pole. The guy can't cost you a lot of money. I mean, but he did pretty well for himself. Let me tell you what. There we go. Right. Former Giants quarterback earns spot on a prestigious NFL list. Former Giants quarterback Davis Webb is a rising coaching star in the NFL. Right. And he's a coaching star for guess what position? It's not punter, I can tell you that much, right? And something that, would as of right now, would really behoove the Giants if they had a real stud of a quarterback coach or a quarterback, well, he's working doing his work with Denver, right? But I mean, once again, he's starting off on the bottom rung of the, and working, obviously going to be working his way up, and that can't cost you a lot of money. It's a shame when I'm letting him go. Former Giants quarterback Davis Webb is quickly becoming one of the league's rising coaching stars. Right? And you can, now, coaching, or has he got an offensive mind kind of star or something like that? I mean, because, the Giants could, if Kafka ever winds up going bye-bye, Davis Webb is, got some good stuff going on up there offensive mind-wise. Right? But anyway, because of that, he was named the Athletics NFL 50 under 40 list, which consists of the movers and shakers within the NFL's ecosystem. Webb, who's only 30 years old, came in at number 24 on the list, lauded for his work as the Broncos quarterback coach, where he's been for the last 2 seasons and worked with rookie Bo Nix last year. I mean, Bo Nix, tell you what, boy. Yeah. Giants good. We got ourselves an absolute grand slam by taking Malik Neighbors. But in a season all about the development of high-profile rookie quarterbacks, Bo Nix's steady growth in Denver wasn't just a product of Sean Payton's scheme. The article, written via the Broncos website, noted, with guidance from Webb, Nix finished with the most passing yards, 3,775 yards, and touchdowns, 29 by a rookie this past season. Nix also completed 66.3% of his passes and threw just 12 interceptions. That was what Daniel Jones threw his rookie season. He had 24 and 12. Well, Bo Nix was 29-12. But then again, Daniel Jones only started 12 games his rookie season. So the rookie also led the Broncos to a 10-7 record and a playoff appearance. So, I mean, for the most part, it really looks like, good for the Broncos. Looks like they got themselves the quarterback, right? I mean, you figure you got Nix, right? Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, right? Sandy, the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, my bad, right? They got their quarterback. I guess, the Raiders will be looking for their quarterback, but they got some young players, young studs there at the quarterback position in that division. Webb began his career as a third-round selection, number 87 overall by the Giants in the 2017 NFL Draft out of California. He was seen as the presumed successor to Eli Manning once he retired. However, Webb never received the opportunity. When Manning was infamously benched in 2018, ending his Iron Man streak of playing in 210 consecutive games. Way to go, McAdoo, idiot. Giants named Geno Smith as the starter instead of Webb. The then rookie was supposed to see action in the final games of the season. Webb was released the final preseason after New York selected Kyle Lauded, another developmental quarterback, in the fourth round of the 2018 NFL Draft. But once again, one of these things could have been, right? As we know, it winds up happening a lot, right? The new regime comes in, they look at the roster, it's like, hey, Davis Webb. Yeah? Hey, my backup quarterback. Bye-bye, right? Because you had in 2017, right? Webb, right? Eli, right? With Geno Smith, but of course you had Ben the douche McAdoo, right? So 2017, he didn't even finish it that season, right? So we drafted Webb, right? And also to give the dude some credit, he did want Patrick Mahomes, but Giants didn't want to trade up that far anyway. But McAdoo didn't even finish the 2017 season, right? So Webb's on the roster. Here comes 2018. What happens? In comes 2018. In comes a new coach. In comes a new, right? Yeah. Obviously, right. A new coach and a new GM. And had the guy for 1 year. Third round pick. 1 year. Bye-bye. You're not our backup quarterback. We didn't draft you. Bye-bye. Yeah. Then they bring in what? Kyle Lauded. There you go, right? How well he do for the Giants, huh? That's one of the things that kind of bounces you back to that old story, keep changing coaches and GMs and all that, and you're trying to find, right? It's so you just keep churning the roster over. Everything just keeps getting turned, it's makes it very, very difficult. Let's see here. So they drafted Lauded in the fourth round of the 2018 draft. But, I mean, obviously, that was with Gettleman and Shermer. After spending 2 seasons shuffling between the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills' active roster and practice squad, appearing in relief in one game for the Bills, he would rejoin the Giants in the 2022 season, his final season in the NFL. Webb's knowledge of head coach Brian Daboll's offensive system served him well. Yes, it did, allowing him to mentor the other Giant quarterbacks and receivers. Once the Giants clinched a playoff berth, they started Webb against the Philadelphia Eagles in the season finale. In his first and only career start, after 5 years after being drafted, a 28-year-old threw for 168 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, while completing 57.5% of his attempts in a 22-16 loss. But we had all backups in there. So the Eagles had their starters. We had our backups in there. Webb's contract expired after the season. Not many teams were interested in his services, so he changed his career path and was hired by the Broncos head coach Sean Payton. He has endured success with the Broncos. Webb is fast becoming a hot commodity in the league and reportedly drew interest in the Saints' head coaching vacancy. Damn! That ultimately went to the Eagles' offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. Now, Kellen Moore, obviously done a very good job. What's up, Vinny G, man? What's going on, brother? Kellen Moore did a very good, but Kellen Moore also had a phenomenal, team to play with too, right? The Broncos had a good team, but wasn't as good as what the Eagles had. So anyway, but it's just a shame. I mean, once again, it happens with every team. That's not just the Giants. It only happens with the Giants. Happens with every team. Hindsight's always 20/20. If Davis Webb's doing good, why did we keep the guy? We've had other guys on the roster that probably have gone elsewhere and haven't done that well. But it's just such a shame, especially because Webb, being familiar, right, with the Giants' offense, right? He played in the game, right? He's starting off maybe on the bottom rung or something like that, right? Keep him around. Right, if he wants to be a coach, why did you let him get, I don't know. You couldn't have found someplace for him to be. It is what it is, but I wish the guy nothing but the best. Good for him.